Maya opens the front door, blinking into the kitchen light. Jonah and Elena are already there, rigid as statues, eyes fixed on Marta. Marta sits at the table, palms splayed over a neat stack of pale index cards. Jonah slides the top card toward Maya, inked with one sentence. Maya, keep the peace, no questions. Elena's mouth presses flat. Marta whispers, we're on that again. The card quivers in Maya's hand, the words a silent wait. Maya lets the door click shut and tucks the card into her apron pocket. She moves past Jonah, who is folding a dish towel with the exaggerated care of someone trying not to breathe too loud. And Elena, wrists crossed, still staring at Marta as if the woman might dissolve. Marta doesn't look up. She's slicing grapefruit halves with the slow precision of a metronome. Just the usual, she murmurs, not looking at anyone, and the words land like a gentle reminder. Maya sets a kettle on the stove, the hum filling the space between them. She reaches for the chipped mug, the one with the faded sunflowers Elena painted in 9th grade, pours water over instant coffee grounds, then stirs in 2 spoonfuls of sugar because her grandmother's voice still whispers that bitter never stays. Jonah's phone buzzes. He glances down, then tucks it face down without answering. Elena takes a seat at the island, pulling a notebook out and tracing the edge with her nail. A small motion that says she is still waiting for permission to speak. Marta straightens, wipes her palms on her apron, and nods toward the counter where Maya is assembling lunchboxes. Yours first, she says, handing over the bag of sliced mangoes. Jonah slides a small container toward Elena, who doesn't meet his eyes but does lift a fork. Maya folds a note from her pocket into her planner. Keep the peace, no questions. Then tucks it away, smoothing her hands over the counter as she lines up sandwiches. Outside, the late autumn light hits the window and casts long bars across the tiles, making the kitchen look like a place still holding its breath. Maya hugs the mug to her ribcage, thumb tracing the damp ring on the kitchen island as the phone's buzz shudders against the framed photo. She reaches out, fingers grazing the printed memorial invitation card while dragging the phone closer. The printed memorial invitation card on the counter shows her siblings' names grouped under, "Please join us." Their RSVP boxes still unchecked in the muted light. Maya Delgado's fingers tighten around the mug, then yank away as the phone on the counter rumbles, the screen flashing a new group text while its light slants across the printed memorial invitation card. Is this just a polite gathering, or do you need me to take charge again? We all know you're the responsible one, Maya. Plan the memorial timeline. I'll try to keep the wild card energy steady, and Elena will smooth the edges as always. Maya Delgado's jaw tightens, shoulders rising as the silence swells. Her fingers dig into the counter edge, nails whitening. Maya Delgado's thumb traces the phone screen while typing. Then she pulls it back, tilting the glass until the rain light catches the curve of her reflection. She slides the framed photo forward, then rests her palm flat on the printed memorial invitation card, pressing until her knuckles whiten. Maya's thumb taps the phone screen. Then she sets it face up on the counter beside the framed photo, staring at the blank spot. She lifts the memorial invitation, fingers tracing the edges before pressing it flat beneath her palm, the rain-blurred light catching the printed words. I can't keep showing up just to keep the peace. Can this memorial be more than polite so we stop pretending nothing broke? Mom keeps asking if we're okay, and you're the one who makes her feel we are, even though you deserted yourself. We need you there, and honest. Because the silence between us is the real problem. Maya Delgado's fingers tighten on the phone, knuckles blanching, and she lowers her gaze to the counter as her shoulders sink inward. Maya pushes her napkin aside, hands smoothing over the table before gripping the vase of the centerpiece and nudging it level. fingers trembling slightly as her shoulders lock into a blade-straight line. Can we just pick one ridiculous dadism and laugh about it for a minute? You sound more like you're steering us away from something you don't want to feel. Ana Delgado's smile cinches tighter, jaw locked, as her fingers tremble on the glass, knuckles white in the amber glow. Ana reaches past Jonah's wine glass, fingers closing on Maya's phone, lifting it so the amber light traces the screen. She thumbs through the group thread, the printed task timeline shaking slightly under her other hand as she angles the phone toward Maya. I resented you taking over the planning like it was your job, never once saying it was too much. I thought keeping quiet kept peace for all of us. Maya's fingers curl around the glass, knuckles whitening as her shoulders draw inward, and her gaze drops to the table. The tremor in her chin betraying her attempt to stay composed. Jonah lifts his half-empty wine glass, knuckles whitening as he clears his throat and presses the base back onto the table. I kept quiet because it was easier to let you carry it all, even when I knew that wasn't fair. So my silence let you stay quiet too. Maya Delgado's shoulders slump as the weight in her chest shifts, eyes dropping to her clasped hands. Ana Delgado leans forward, sliding the printed task timeline across the table so it stops squarely under Maya's hands, then presses her index finger along the column of tasks as if tracing the silent trail Maya has followed. Every message here shows you calming us, planning for us, without you even saying it was too much. I didn't know how to ask for help without feeling like I failed. Maya Delgado's fingers clench the corners of the glowing phone, her jaw tightening as her shoulders dip, the small tremor in her hands betraying the pressure to stay calm. Maya smooths the memorial program booklet across the lectern, her fingers pausing over their father's portrait as Hime's shoulders tighten. Her hand clenches around the edge, knuckles whitening, and she jerks it back a hair. You think I'm just the wild card, but you never asked me to step up. You needed me to stay untethered, so your perfection stayed untouched. I thought you wanted that freedom. I never meant to keep you out. Maya Delgado's fingers clench around the booklet, knuckles whitening as her gaze drops to the crease of the page. Your silence wasn't ignorance. It was design. You kept me the carefree one so the family could see you as the calm force and never question you needing to do it all. I thought you were just avoiding responsibility, not that I was supposed to drag you in. The memorial program booklet in her lap is open to a list of family reflections, stipulating in the same ink as the altar candle's lit header that only approved voices may rise. The unspoken rule now spelled out in print. Maya Delgado's fingers clench around the program, knuckles whitening as she inhales sharply, eyes darting up. Her shoulders stiffen as she steps back, breath hitching. Maya delays, then lets a trembling hand fall onto the family photo collage, fingers splaying over the smiling faces as if holding herself to them. Jaime, I felt judged for not being flawless, so I hid behind being carefree. I thought you needed that so you could carry everything else. Maya, so you saw my silence as the deliberate decision to write you out of the rest? Jonah's jaw tightens, shoulders sagging as he releases a long breath, eyes flicking upward before settling back on his clasped hands. Maya Delgado's breath stays steady as the knave swallows every other whisper. Through Maya Delgado's eyes, the battered notebook on the velvet bench lies open to the rule, always stay on top. The ink dark against the page like a dare to keep the silence. Maybe we can just leave quietly like after S3 and pretend nothing's different. Can you risk vulnerability and confront the truth, or stay safe in silence to avoid hurting anyone further? That silence is what drove us apart then. Maya's fingers clench around the notebook, knuckles whitening as her shoulders hunch inward. Her lips part slightly, jaw quivering, a tremor of hesitation rippling down her arms. Marta reaches for the velvet bench, her fingers curling around its edge before she pivots, guiding Maya toward the placards. Her thumb ghosts along the glass lip as she leans in, insisting they linger over each mirrored rule. Through Maya's eyes, the placard beside her own battered notebook, "Never ask for help, stay cheerful," gleams in the low golden light, the rules echoing her list and demanding she choose. Speak or keep silent. We all learned to mirror you, thinking those rules were the price of love. So naming them would mean risking the backlash of expectations I've been hiding behind? Elena's shoulders slump further into the display, fingers flexing on the glass as her eyes glisten, gaze locked on Maya. If you name all these expectations, maybe I can stop unknowingly reinforcing them. It feels like choosing between keeping quiet for pretend peace or actually facing it. Can I risk vulnerability and confront the truth? Or stay safe in silence to avoid hurting anyone further? Marta's fingers tremble against Maya's shoulder before she presses deeper, eyes searching the air as if asking herself whether to stay still or move. Maya scoops the battered notebook off the velvet bench and drags it into her lap, then rises as the bench murmurs across the gallery floor. She steps forward, one palm grazing a sibling gallery placard before planting both feet in the circle, spine straightening. Maya sets the notebook on display light, flips it open, shoulders squared, and lifts her chin to read. Hearing you say it shatters the calm I pretended to protect. Then I'm done protecting us with silence. I'll name what I've been carrying so we can figure out what comes next. Jonah's shoulders slump, wet gaze fixed forward while a shuddering exhale escapes, as if finally allowing the silence to crack wide open. Through Maya's eyes, the stack of sticky notes with her name scrawled on every task glints under the lamp, each one a tiny accusation of unmet expectations she can't ignore. I need permission to be imperfect instead of carrying this plan like proof that I'm strong. We assumed you wanted that role. We never asked if it was burning you out. Jonah Delgado's shoulders sag, fingertips grazing the ledge as if seeking support. Jonah drags his fingertips along the lip of the half-empty lemonade pitcher, shoulders sagging as the familiar wild child mask slips away. I pretended not to care so you could stay in control, but I actually wanted to be asked into the circle. I should have asked. I made it easy for you to stay out by never offering a seat. Elena's jaw trembles, lashes wet, shoulders inching forward as if finally daring to close the distance she had held open. Stack of sticky notes, Maya's name scripted on every task. Blankets the coffee table in a pastel grid that reflects the weight of expectations no one has named. I kept smiling for the cameras because I thought that proved I was okay. But I needed you to tell me I mattered for more than cheerfulness. I was so busy keeping everyone calm that I stopped listening to you. I'm sorry, and I want to hear you now. Maya Delgado's shoulders sag, a single tear slipping free as she lets the breath out slowly. Maya sets the stack of sticky notes aside, freeing the coffee table, then leans forward, fingers brushing Jonah Delgado's hand, and then Elena Delgado's as she draws them both toward her. Maya exhales, the bench of shared expectation finally light enough to sit on.